Hi everybody, I'm Mike McConaughey. For my final project, I decided to research the relationship between dogs and humans, and I titled this Dogs, Man's Best Friend or Man's Oldest Tradition. To start off, I wanted to read the quote by Stanley Coren. The greatest fear dogs know is the fear that you will not come back when you go out the door without them. And I think that just kind of sets the tone for the whole presentation. So to start off, I'm going to read a little part of my paper. It's actually mostly about me and my experience. I said, as someone who is highly allergic to dogs, looking like I have the flu whenever I'm around dog dander, I see how the negatives outweigh the positive with dogs. Added to the fact that my father hates dogs even more than I used to, I may have been biased in my dislike. So what have I been missing out on? A best friend who would love me no matter what I did? An everyday companion who would be there for me? To start off, I am going to show you a little statistics. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, dogs make up 37.2% of the pet population, and they're found in over 43 million homes. And there are usually 2 in each household. I'm rounding up, it says 1.7, but you can't have 0.7% of a dog. So where did domesticated dogs come from? There's actually multiple theories and no one's quite sure. The first theory is that humans were actually just drawn to wolf puppies because they were small, cute, and fluffy, and we kind of adopted them as our own. Another is that we specifically picked out wolf puppies to start to tame because we realized how good of hunters wolves were, and so we purposely did it. And Science, a research journal, actually had they had an article published about another theory, was that wolves would follow traveling human groups like a long time ago and would actually eat like the leftover carcasses that we left behind, and eventually they just stayed, kind of like how dogs eat our table scraps today. But for any of these reasons, if these are true, why have dogs stayed around? Most of us don't use them to hunt anymore. They're not following us around eating carcasses that we leave behind. Could it have to do with physical health benefits? It might. According to a study by the CDC and the NIH, pet owners have shown decreased blood pressure, cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. And for patients that have had, or for pet owners that have had heart attacks, they actually exhibit better recovery rates. And there are actually dogs that have been trained to smell cancer, but they were only right 99% of the time, and because of that 1% they were wrong, the validity of this has still been called into question, which for me it's not, 1% isn't a big deal, but it obviously is for them. But there are actually more than just physical health benefits. You're about to watch part of my interview with Grace Collins. This is a picture of her with her dog Wally. He's 13 years old, so he's an old guy. There's no one I know that loves dogs more than her, and I thought she could give me real insight into dogs, considering I'm not such a huge fan of them. I just wanted to throw some pictures of her with her dog. He's actually so old, she mentions this, he's actually so old he can't go upstairs. They have to help him stand up now. So when she says that on the one floor that he's on, that's because he can't go upstairs. He's also apparently scared of stairs because he fell down when he was a puppy. So I'm going to go ahead and start the video. Do you think dogs can read our emotions?
Oh, 100%. Even though, like, I know I keep reiterating this, but even though Wally isn't like other dogs, he's still emotionally very smart. Wally knows when we're sick. A couple weeks ago, I was sick with the flu, so I went home for a weekend, and even though Wally is very old, I was sleeping on the couch in the one floor that he's on. Even though Wally's very old, he still would come up to me and lick my hand or something like that, or or lick my face, whatever. I took that as just to make sure I'm okay, and I took that way because after he would do that, I would I would pet him, and then he would lay down right next to me. Like, it was, yeah, and he's done that his entire life. Like, when my dad, sleeps on the couch because he has really bad insomnia, like, Wally takes it as, oh, Dad is sick, I need to make sure he's okay. Like, he'll do that, where he'll just go up to you, you say that you're okay, and then he'll lay down right next to you. So, yeah, Wally knows.
Has he really comforted you, like, when you were sad or, like, upset?
Wally knows when the girls are crying, too. Which is all the time. It's a lot. We're a very emotional family. So, yeah, Wally will like take the time to like get up, which takes him a long time, but he'll take the time to get up and come make sure that you're okay. Like, he won't do that thing where he like puts his head on your knee or whatever, but he'll just like stand there and pant until you tell him that you're okay. It's like, all right. But yeah, he knows when something's wrong,
Okay, so you actually heard her mention that her dog is very good with emotions. And so dogs actually have mental health benefits as well. They've actually been shown to decrease stress, anxiety, and symptoms of depression. And most of you know what a therapy dog is, but they are dogs that have been trained to comfort people. Like, if you're petting them, they get all excited and get up in your face. They'll just lay there to help soothe you. And therapy dogs have actually been used to help with autistic patients, sufferers of grief, and even stressed college students. The University of Mount Union actually has therapy dogs come in, like you might have seen on the 26th, or I guess it was Wednesday. They come in and you can pet them as part of the De-Stress Fest. But to get in more in depth about like how they help us with mental health, according to therapydoginfo.com, therapy dogs decrease stress and anxiety. They decrease depression, loneliness, feelings of isolation, and aggression. But they increase socialization, mental stimulation, attention skills, and verbal interactions. And it's not just therapy dogs, but it's also dogs in general. But mental health and physical health benefits can't be the only reason that people get dogs. When people go to shelters or go to pet stores, they're like, well, golly gee, this is going to lower my blood pressure. So there has to be another reason why we like dogs so much, right? Maybe it's because we feel like we can communicate with them and they can understand us. Because we know that dogs can learn key phrases like sit and stay, and they can learn to associate actions with those. But do they have any idea what we're saying when we're talking to them? Are they just like, yeah, he's making noises? Well, actually, Dr. Andix of the East-Vos-Lorraine University found that after putting dogs in an MRI machine, he found that dogs can differentiate between tone and word choice. By placing them in the machine, when saying praise words like good or great, the dog's left side of the brain would light up, even if they said it in like a neutral tone or an angry tone. So you could literally shout at a dog, "I love you," and they would hear love, and their brain would light up because they realize that's a praise word. So it shows they can kind of understand us. But strangely enough, Dr. Attila Index is not the only doctor to put dogs in an MRI machine. The neuroscientist Gregory Barnes put dogs through the MRI machines to see why they got so excited to see us when we showed up. He actually found that when dogs were exposed to the scent of a familiar human, their brains, this region of their brains associated with pleasure and reward lit up. And that's a very similar reaction to how human brains react when we see our friends. Which shows that dogs kind of consider us their friends. Is our relationship, if they consider us friends, just an emotional bond? I would say no, because it's actually been found that when dogs and humans make eye contact, oxytocin levels in both of their brains increase. And oxytocin is a major chemical factor in how we form bonds. It's actually one of the love chemicals. What's odd is, while dogs will make eye contact with humans, wolves tend to avoid eye contact with their handlers, which just shows that from the long periods of time that domesticated dogs have been around humans, they've learned that eye contact is not a sign of aggression like it is with wolves, which is why wolves avoid it. So in conclusion, why are dogs man's best friend? Is it because of the health benefits? Is it because of our ability to somewhat communicate with them? The resounding answer is actually people love dogs for their loyalty and the unconditional love they provide. Not only do they love us and are loyal to us, they actually protect us. You can get on Google and type in dog saves and you'll get thousands of videos of dogs saving people from like fires, from robbers. There's even a video of a dog pulling a drowning kid out of a pond. And this loyalty and love doesn't go unnoticed to humans, and we in return reciprocate this loyalty. People run back into fires to get their pets all the time. There's actually an article about a man who jumped into a hot spring that was over 200 degrees Fahrenheit to try to save his dog. Unfortunately, they both died. But I think this just says a lot about the love and the bond that we share, and I think that is why dogs are man's best friend. Thank you.